It took years. But with help from UK P&I club member Shell, the team succeeded.
There's a small hole, sir, that causes with leaking.
They call the immediate causes of incidents active failures, and the root causes latent failures. An active failure, something that happened at the sharp end, is generally blamed for causing an incident. But the researchers found that latent failures are a greater threat. They create the conditions in which active failures are more likely and more serious. Latent failures frequently stem from decisions made higher up. For example, many cases of cargo damage are caused by not replacing worn-out hatch cover seals. Like diseases, latent failures can hide in the system for years, so no one knows how many accidents are just waiting to happen. To detect them before loss or injury can occur, the team simplified the complex workings of organizations into clearly defined categories. The first was procedures. To bring latent failures to light, questions to ask include: are clear, standardized procedures available for all routine tasks? Hardware. Is the ship and its equipment up to the job? Design. Is bad design encouraging unsafe acts? Maintenance management. Is maintenance ever delayed or poorly planned? Error enforcing conditions. These are factors that make mistakes more likely. Pressure of time is one. Fatigue is another. So are too little or too much information. Poor working conditions. Low morale. Housekeeping. Housekeeping speaks for itself.
That's tight fitting. It isn't.
Well, if necessary,
It may seem trivial, but the UK club inspectors find it a reliable indicator of the general quality of a ship. Incompatible goals. Is anyone struggling with incompatible goals, such as conflicts between safety and productivity?
We had at places 2 interlocking coils.
Written procedures and local ways of doing things. The demands of the job and personal distractions. Communication. Do channels of communication exist? Is the necessary information transmitted?
this way.
This way is good, and the light way is no good.
Is it understood?
No good. No.
Organization.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. At first, we sailed Southampton.
Does the way a work group is organized encourage contributions from all its members?
There is no problem. Temperature is in good condition.
Training. Do people have the skills they need? Not just through formal training, but on-the-job coaching as well. Defences. Last, but not least, the measures designed to control and contain hazards. Will they take the sting out of the consequences of failure? Research into human error taught Shell that analysing the answers to questions like these could reveal the weak spots of any ship or rig. Then precious resources could be directed where the need is greatest, before loss or injury occurs. But does it really work? Shell is convinced. Before adopting this approach, their marine sector suffered a lost time injury almost every day. After, it was nearer 1 a month. Instead of 10 fatalities a year, there's been just 1 in the last 12. There are lessons in this for everyone. Lessons that can save the $1 million we throw away each day because we don't spot human errors until it's too late.
Keep watching out for each other.
Focus on latent failures, not active ones. Focus on situations, not people. Think of errors as consequences, not causes. And always aim to prevent the next error, not the last one. Let's review the Joshua Slocum's collision in the light of these lessons. The UK club finds that 90% of collision incidents are a result of human error. Where did things go wrong in this case? There were error-enforcing conditions, incompatible goals, and a failure of organisation. Damir was right. Slowing down and calling a more experienced officer for help might have prevented disaster. That's what the night orders would have told him to do. They were in their usual place, but Damir had missed them. He'd had barely an hour to familiarise himself with the ship. That's about par for the course, according to UK club statistics. Is it really enough? Damir's inexperience and lack of familiarisation are error-enforcing conditions. So are the excessive workload and fatigue, which prevented the chief officer giving the new arrival the attention he warranted. Fatigue causes countless incidents. It's a problem that won't go away unless manning levels are geared to operational needs, not regulations or tonnage. A sea of forms, lists, reports and emails threatens to drown the industry. But no piece of paper is as important as the charts and navigational publications. All too often, the UK club's inspectors find they're uncorrected or out of date. That's a failure of organisation. Had they been routinely updated, the Joshua Slocum's officers would have seen that the oil field was now active. At the core of this case is a latent failure in the category incompatible goals.
Captain, coming on the bridge quickly.
Masters must never allow commercial pressures to push them into taking so-called calculated risks. Ship owners' shore staff must appreciate that good seamanship is always good business.